Nagaland Law Students Federation celebrated its Silver Jubilee on Tuesday at the Capital Convention Centre, Kohima. During the second session of the first day, the President of Nagaland Bar Association, Advocate Akito Jimomi, spoke on the theme of the event, Forging Equitable Justice, said that equitable justice is ideal, but if one wants to pursue it, one must be equipped with the necessary tools. He said justice is ultimately about individual. He told the students to equip themselves with necessary tools, be prepared to work hard and learn.
It's ultimately about the individual and what he or she does. Each and every one of us, what you and I do. As students, let's take it down to the level of students first. As students, you want to forge justice and equity. You have accepted or you have adopted the theme, forging justice, forging equitable justice. How do you do it? As students, you yourselves must place yourself in circumstances to pursue that theme. So how do you do it as students? Do you just attend classes, take down notes, listen to your lecturers, and that's the end of your pursuit of legal studies? No, it is not. It is not. As students, you must understand the subject that you are learning. You must. It must be your first endeavor as a law student. You must understand the subject that you are learning. If you do not understand the subject that you are learning, you have started with a misstep in the pursuit of equitable justice. Now, as a student, it doesn't mean that when you're pursuing law, it doesn't mean that you must be a first-class student. You must score top marks in each and every subject in which you are examined. No, it does not mean that. What it means is, what is actually required is for you to understand the subject of law. That is the fundamental requirement of legal studies. You must understand your subjects. And then, of course, it doesn't mean that you should fail. You must pass your legal studies. You must pass. You must become a graduate in law. That will enable you to join the legal profession. But passing the law and then joining the legal profession are different worlds altogether again. Now, I had a very interesting discussion with the President and his colleagues when they visited my chambers. Most of them, quite a few of them, they voiced this opinion that law students who join the legal profession are very often disappointed. One. And also that ladies, women folk are not able to make any headways in the legal profession. No, I told them no, I disagreed with them. I disagreed with them. When you as a law student are studying, it is academic knowledge, lessons that you are taught, lessons on which you are examined, lessons on which you are subjected to examinations, and lessons and on the basis of which you pass and enter into the legal profession. After you pass your law degree and you enter into the legal profession, then begins a time of self-learning. So there's a distinction there. Academic learning, when you're in college and pursuing legal studies, you get a law degree, you sit for your bar exam, and then you join the legal profession, and that is the time of self-learning. If you are able to combine these two, there is no reason why you, as a law graduate, cannot be successful in the legal profession. And it does not matter whether you are a male or a female.
Special guest Sheringane Longkumar, Speaker of NLA, while extending Silver Jubilee greetings, said that there are many relevant issues which will determine the future of our state, our community, and these are things which our fraternity must sit, discuss and embrace upon the government to make policies that will not only help the people but also make the profession more relevant. He also assured that there is no lawyer that is a bad one or a bad advocate. It is how he or she has conducted.
Are all, I believe, studied law or students of law with a hope that one day you will become good lawyers, some of you. Some of you may want to pursue law as an additional subject so that it helps you in your preparation for various other professions. Now, to those students and to those few members who are pursuing law for the various other reasons that you have, law is a subject. It's required in every field. And there is no dirt for hard labor, for the amount of sleepless nights that you are going to put in, for the number of books that you are going to read, and it is a continuing process. I did my law from Delhi University. I did a little bit of practices there in Delhi at TCSR Court, and thereafter I was practicing in Dimapur District Court with some senior advocate. And during my time, when I was pursuing as a fresh newcomer who had just passed out, and the Bar Council conducts a exam to issue a certificate of practice. We were, I think, the first batch to have that exam. So there is a process now. There is a process. So there is no shortcut, as what my elder brother had mentioned before me. There is no shortcut in this profession. It is a continuing process. And to reiterate that point, there are many law students here, and I'm sure you have come across this doctrine of separation of power. And I would like to speak with all of you, bringing that point, because that is the profession which I am pursuing now, and the chair that I'm holding, I have begun to realize that that is one subject which I did when I was a student, and now I'm living it, and it's very, very interesting. So as you are all well aware, every state has a legislative assembly. The legislative assembly has a separate independent secretary by virtue of the article which is there in the Constitution. So the doctrine of separation of power ensures that there is an executive, there is a legislative, and there is a judiciary. Now there are times when I, as a speaker of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly, we come across various issues. Some has to do with administration, some has to do with government policies. Sometimes the thin line that separates the legislative aspect of the government process is somehow some intervention comes along. And that is when I realized that yes, the doctrine applies, and the establishment of the Assembly Secretariat for the information of the students is by virtue of Article 187, subsection 3, by which we have a Assembly Secretariat that is autonomous in nature. So we have the government, and we have the Government Secretariat, which is covered by another article, which the seniors are well aware, and we have the Assembly Secretariat, which is covered by the Article 187